What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the DMCA stuff that's going on around the internet, the whole leading to jail time. I'm not going to talk super, like a ton about the actual thing that's happening. And the reason is because I think actually a lot of other channels and even articles online have honestly done it better. I would recommend probably Charlie or Penguin, Penguin Z0, Moist Critical, whatever you want to refer to him as. He's awesome, right? I actually really, really love his stuff. He covered this, I believe, 2 days ago. This is actually, people had asked me my own opinions on this, and I'll give you my opinions on this, but shortly after that, I found his video, watched it, and I think, again, he does a really good job. Basically, all you need to know is there's a U.S. Senator, I believe, from North Carolina, that has basically slid in a bigger bill, a small bill that makes it so that if you get a DMCA, and it's very hard for me to say these words, by the way, mainly because I talk so fast and I talk so loud, I get confused. I can only go so fast. But if you get a DMCA strike, it could actually lead to a jail time. So no longer would it be, a slap on the hand and stuff like that. Now, here's the deal. I guess the question is, would this ever happen? I want to remain, I know this is a cruel world, and I understand the internet and YouTube and Twitch, they are cruel worlds. But I do want to believe something as stupid as this wouldn't actually make it all the way through. Now, so far, so good in a negative way that it is making its way through, but I do think at some point it would be stopped. And the reason simply is, the music industry is hated by pretty much everybody, including people in the music industry. They tear each other apart. There's many musicians, many bands, but many individuals that are part of the music industry that truly despise what certain parts of it do. You see it with insanely big names, even like Taylor Swift, right? With the whole drama with like Scooter Braun selling all of her stuff. Then you even have somebody, in a band that I truly, by the way, I do like Taylor Swift, but a band that I truly, truly love, and they're my favorite band of all time, Smashing Pumpkins. Billy Corgan, he has spoken out time and time again about basically how toxic and how it'll literally eat you alive. The industry will literally destroy you, and it's destroyed many, many bands. So the thing is, and why do I say all that? Well, the reason is that's why I don't think this is going to make it very far, because you have people even in the music industry who hate them, who will stand up for, I think, quite a few different reasons. You also have, even on YouTube, on Twitch, huge music followings. I follow a person specifically on YouTube. He's a bit older. His name's Rick Beato. He's a great, I really do love his stuff. He does like a lot of music theory and a lot of like really, I'd say, sophisticated stuff. I believe he was a producer. He's actually produced many different bands and many different albums and songs. And he has like 2 million subscribers. He's actually testified in front of Congress on behalf of the YouTube community, okay, talking about basically how they handle like copyright stuff. So he's done an amazing job. So again, the point is, we have people all over the internet, I feel like, ready to fight for this. It's not a very divided topic. It's not something like, even honestly, censorship. Censorship, honestly, I feel like we should all be on the same page of. The problem is, I get, and I see why, but it's also kind of a negative thing. When people say something that you don't agree with, that doesn't mean they deserve to be canceled. I'm not saying you guys in particular, but I think on the internet in general, we've established this culture called cancel culture, which by the way, is a very, if you don't believe in that, I'm sorry, but I really do. That is more divided. That you have people that are like, oh, he said a mean thing, or oh, he crossed this line, even though it's a line that you can't measure, or whatever the situation may be. They need to be canceled, or they need to be taken off the internet, basically. And we've had that for many years. That's not good. That's something we should all honestly come together on. It's not. This music thing is. And Charlie brings up a good point on his video. I want to nail a couple points he said when he talked about how in God's name do you enforce something like this. And I agree. When you're making money on these platforms, now, I'm new to Twitch. I actually have a Twitch channel. If you guys haven't followed it yet, you can. It's in the link in the description below. We try to live stream there a couple times a week. So I know that was a plug, but I am, trying to get into Twitch. I watch a lot of Twitch, like information videos on YouTube, people that are Twitch streamers but also have YouTube channels. I like to keep my eyes like peeled in terms of like Twitch drama. I like that stuff. So I would say I'm getting there with Twitch. YouTube, I feel like I'm pretty darn well versed in how YouTube works. They don't know where you live unless, I believe, you make money. So like on YouTube, when you do the AdSense, when you make money through AdSense, in order to get paid, you need the tax, and you need to give them your tax information. You need to give them your date of birth. I think your social security, your address, all that stuff. So, once you do that, I feel, because, Charlie said, like, how could they enforce it? I do agree, like, I do think there is some ways, and we'll talk about them in a second, but I think in a large scale size kind of thing, I don't know how you enforce it, because yes, you can enforce it when everybody is signed up for your ads or for, whatever kind of revenue service you do, and then you have all their addresses, so then when you get a DMCA strike, then you're able to be attacked. But by the way, this isn't just for Twitch, just for YouTube. This is for anything. And I believe he even brought up a good point. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, he got a DMCA strike. So, like, does he go to jail? You know what I mean? Like, it would never work. And also, for YouTube specifically, I believe you need to be 13 to make a Google account, and by design, by doing that, you're also making a YouTube account. Okay, 13 years old. You don't have to be partnered. Okay, now Twitch, there's the partners, there's the affiliates. For YouTube, it's just you do AdSense or you don't. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you're 13 years old, you just started a channel, you got 1,000, even if you have 1,000. So let's even take it a step further. You're 13 years old, you have a channel, you're making money, you have AdSense. You're going to arrest a 13-year-old for breaking a DMCA? The biggest thing is this, and this is why I think it also, there's a lot of reasons why I think it would never pass, but people don't purposely try to break it. It comes down to what it always comes down to. It's always YouTube. It's always Twitch. I believe it's always Twitter. Any of these platforms that people get hit with. Now, I know Twitch and YouTube as the big ones, but even Twitter gets hit by something. I've never personally been, attacked on Twitter in terms of like, they've made me take something down. But there is stuff they can strike you down for. But I'm not really like fluent in it, so I guess I'll just ignore it. But nobody is actively breaking these rules like on purpose. Now, of course, there's some people. I know it could be an exaggeration, or people could look at it. I do sometimes exaggerate to make my point, but in all reality, how many people do you know of that does that, right? That actually games the system in that way? I mean, honestly, I do believe in the kind of thought process that we are all trying to just make it work. Even like people at my level, people that have 40, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscriber channels, millions, and same thing for Twitch. People that are partnered, people that are only affiliate, or actually is partnered, whichever one's the lower one. Even if you're the lower one, you're obviously still trying to do it fine, right? You can maybe be making or using royalty-free music, right? I mean, there's a lot that goes into this stuff to try to keep yourself safe, or to try to pat yourself on the back, being like, okay, well, I don't want to get hit by anything, so I'm gonna be careful. I mean, a lot of people do it, and if they don't, it could just be because they're unaware. It could be because something was translated wrong, like it wasn't done a good job, like explaining by Twitch or YouTube. You know what I mean? I feel like for the most part, like nobody is. Now you could say, I guess there's some. I mean, I really don't know. I was gonna say there's some crimes out there that maybe shouldn't be, or that you maybe don't know. I mean, I don't really know about that, right? Like if you do a crime, I think that there's a crime. Maybe some things, maybe you just flat out, maybe some really deep, really, really deep law that nobody's aware of. It's like, oh shoot, that was a crime. But in all reality, for these DMCA things, when people get them, they are genuinely upset. You know what I mean? They're not like, oh shoot, you caught me. Like I was hoping you wouldn't catch it. No, they're like, well, I don't understand it because I did this, I did this, I did that. So that's another thing too, where it's like, you have big people in the music industry, you have big people in the gaming industry, like online, like on Twitch, on Twitter, on YouTube, on all this stuff. I think they're very willing to speak up, big name people. And also, like, nobody's trying to do, you know what I mean? So, like, and it's another thing where it's like, I get it, Twitch, YouTube specifically, again, like, knowing the most about YouTube, I know, like, doesn't obviously want to be involved in anything legal. So that's another thing, like, when they get involved, obviously they're going to take it to, like, a whole new level. That's what they've always done. They never want to be part of, like, cases, right? If you, like, go after somebody because they take your video down and you appeal them and you have to go to court, it's pretty much like you versus them. YouTube really has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? Because they purposely make it that way where they kind of stay out of it, right? They stay out of it. So, nobody is doing it on purpose. These platforms obviously over-enforce the rules so that they don't get caught in the crossfire. It's just not a good situation, but it's not something I honestly think would make it very far. Maybe that's optimistic. Maybe that's trying to find the light in like the dark, dark world that it is. But I honestly do believe there would be enough of a pushback for something as stupid as this to go through. So let me know, guys, in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think this thing could ever actually happen? How do you think they would actually enforce it if it did? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. Again, if you want to follow our Twitch channel, I know I promote the most dangerous of all things, right? I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on the most dangerous things that could be taken down, but I would appreciate your guys' support anywhere that you could give it. All the links for my social media stuff are in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next video.